It's still Wednesday, and then you're going to do an activity. So if you remember, we were doing point slope yesterday, and we were converting it into slope intercept. Does everybody recall that? Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing, except for one little change. And this is when you have a slope that's a fraction. Exactly. Super fun. I know how much you all love fractions, right? So we're going to write our point. We'll label x1, y1, and then y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. Did you guys like that guy's little song in the video? Didn't you guys?
Oh, like the little clip where it was like.
You had to play the song?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys play the song? Clearly, some of you just skipped that.
Wait, what? You have to play it. It was a song.
You have to play it to go on? I thought you could just hit skip.
Oh,
no, you have to play it.
Anyway. I thought that was clever. From the Ed puzzle yesterday?
What was it? It was like y minus.
The y you know. Yeah. Something fun. Okay. So we're going to have y minus negative 2 equals 2/3 times the quantity x minus negative 1.
I was this close to writing it down.
The song?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then we get y plus 2 equals 2/3 x plus 1. Well, that didn't really go the way I wanted it to. We'll do a different one next. So then we have to distribute this 2/3 to get it as slope-intercept form. So y plus 2 equals 2/3 x plus 2/3, right? Because 2/3 times 1 is 2/3.
Oh.
Then I have to subtract 2 from both sides. Right? Y equals 2/3 x. And then we have to remember how to subtract fractions. Right? What are you thinking? So it has to have common denominators, right? So I could have 2/3 minus, and then if I were to put this whole number 2, it would be minus 6/3, right? Because this becomes 6/3. And I'm going to get negative 4/3. So now I have it in slope-intercept form. Woohoo!
So many fractions. I was so happy.
I know you guys love fractions. The practice today has fractions, so that's why we're, right? So this is point slope. And then this is slope-intercept.
Wait, so point slope is after you distribute? Or
Point slope is
before?
before you distribute. So like this would have been it before I drew the little arrows. That would be point slope.
Okay.
And then this would be slope-intercept. Let's do one more together. Let me try to make this one slightly more difficult.
That one?
That wasn't.
Can we do it by ourselves?
No.
You can just like look down and let's do. Okay. Thank you.
Twice now, today and yesterday, when I tried to write point slope, I accidentally wrote like the dash. I wrote it as a second S.
Because you're like saying it. Yep. Okay, so we've got y minus y1 equals m times the quantity x minus x1. We're going to label our x1 y1.
Quick question.
Yep.
Will there be fractions on the test?
Possibly. Anything's possible.
I'm someone saying yes and no.
So now I've got y plus 3 equals 1/4 times the quantity x minus 5. I'm going to distribute the 1/4. So I'll have y plus 3 equals 1/4 x minus that's 1/4 times 5. Yes. It would be, but we're going to leave it as an improper fraction. So I do 1/4 times 5/1 gives me 5/4. Oops, you guys can't see that. So minus 5/4.
No, yes.
Not done yet. I still have to subtract 3 from both sides. Y equals 1/4 x, and then I have negative 5/4 minus 3. So how could I rewrite negative 3? Negative 12, or just minus 12 over 4. So now I've got negative 17 over 4. Yes?
How would you write negative 17 over 4 on the graph?
So in your mind, you'd be like, all right, that's actually like negative 4 1/4. So you would plot it there. Does that make sense? That would be your y-intercept. Because remember, this is your y-intercept. So you would go down 4 1/4 and plot it. But I don't want you to write it as 4 1/4 for your y-intercept. So I turn it into a mixed number, right? So 4 goes into 17 4 times, and there'd be 1 left over. So you'd plot the y-intercept, and then you'd use your slope. Exciting times, guys. Okay, I'm gonna pass out your what we're doing today. Hopefully you guys all saw that you needed scissors and glue. You also need a ruler. I'll come around with those in a minute. Get the green paper.
And killing zombies.
That's a lot of paper. Oh, do I take one?
Take one and pass it down.
I thought we were about to do all of it. Horizontally. Well, we need to put the roof down. We're about to do the other. I haven't told you Hey.
Okay, so you're probably going to want a separate piece of paper. You're probably going to want a separate piece of paper.
And our whole desk.
Maybe you want your whole desk. So what we have here is a graph with a bunch of zombies all over it. Okay. And you also have a bunch of equations written in point-slope form. So what you're going to do is change these into slope-intercept form and then graph them and hope that the line goes through a zombie. Because that's, if the line doesn't go through a zombie, then you made a mistake. Yeah?
Does it matter where on the zombie?
I would just make the line go the whole width of the graph so you can see if it worked or not. Yeah? So they're already in point slope form for you. Okay? It's what we just did.
Where does scissors come in?
Because you have to cut out those green things and glue them
Oh.
next to whichever zombie it goes through.
Oh. Wait, what? You have
Okay.
to cut these and put them next to the zombie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, you get
Yes, I knew your name. Okay, could you, so, when you do negative times negative number, is so many constants?
We'll do the first one together. Okay, let's do the first one together. I've got PK. Come on. I've got this. I'm just going to do top left corner because that's to me what would logically be the first one. So I've got y plus 2 equals negative 2/3 times the quantity x minus 13. Zoom this in a little bit. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is distribute the negative 2/3. So I'm going to have y plus 2 equals 2/3 x. I'm going to go out to the side here, negative 2 over 3 times negative 13 over 1. I'm going to get 26 over 3.
Yeah.
So plus 26 over 3.
Oh, because that's a negative.
Right? Because a negative times a negative equals a positive. And then I'm going to subtract 2 from both sides. This actually should be a negative 2/3 x. I'm sorry. Negative 2/3 x. Then I've got 26 over 3 minus, and this would be 6 over 3. Because that's how I'd write subtract 2. Right, so I converted this negative 2 into a 6 over 3 because I'm subtracting that, and I get 20 over 3. So then I'm going to go on the graph. Where would 20 over 3 be? Where would that fall on my graph? 6 2/3. That's going to be my y axis, my y-intercept.
Oh, I get this.
Yeah.
So the y is, I think y equals negative 2/3 x plus 1/3.
Okay, so remember, from my equation, this is my slope, this is my y-intercept. So I'm going to plot, I changed this in my head into a mixed number, which would be 6 2/3. right? Because 20 divided by 3 is 6 with 2/3 left over. So I plotted that. And now I'm going to use my slope, and I'm going to go down 2 over 3. Down 2 over 3. Down 2 over 3. I've got 4 points, so I feel pretty confident that my line's going to be pretty accurate. I'm going to connect these. Does it go through any of the zombies?
Yeah. The top left.
Yeah. So I'm going to draw my line all the way across the graph. And then I would cut this out. This one right here. And I would look for that guy down here. Oh.
Does it have to be pretty?
Hmm?
Does it have to be pretty?
Right, so he's down here dancing in this column. Yeah? Ta-da! Isn't this so exciting? Not too bad. You guys can do it.
I did too.